to the Kimberley and wondered about the road conditions and if your four-wheel drive is capable of handling them. Well, come along with us on our adventure on the rough and rocky road to the Barnett River Gorge. But first, after our idyllic campsite at Gorge, even a grumpy old cow doesn't deter our quest to Old Mornington. This is the crossing to Gorge. As you can see, in the dry season, Bell Creek is still quite deep. You would swear you were in the north of Queensland with this tropical paradise. Pandana trees, trickling streams and surrounded by nature in all forms. Our Bell Creek campsite was truly an oasis. Travelling along on these boat trips, you need your essential items. The sunscreen, of course, and water. Essential items on a boat trip like this, and your hats, of course. Something. Better go check what it is. Be quiet. What's that? Looks like a possum.
Excellent. We love bandicoots, but we couldn't eat a whole one right now. We just had dinner.
Back on the Gib River Road. Graded. Not graded. Not much difference, is there? Fuel can be very expensive. Expect to pay up to 50% more per litre. Gas is a foreign word here and some places only have diesel.
Don't know why I'm running, but I twice, I understand you loud and clear. I get behind the wheel, put my foot to the floor. Don't bother trying to find me, 'cause I just walked out your door. I just walked out your door.
See all the rivers showing up now. Further out we go, the more rivers and tracks on the road. That's where we've come from.
You really feel like you're in the Outback when you get on the old Mornington Station Road.
Here it can get about 45 degrees, and what happens then is on a hot day like that, the farmers or the station owners, they turn the air conditioning on, and you'll come past these and you'll see all the cows gathering around the bottom to keep them, because it's nice and cool. So next time you see all the cows hanging around these things on the day, that's what they've done. Farmers turn the air conditioning on. It's hot out here, isn't it? Oh yeah, it gets really hot. Sometimes I just burn myself. Oh look, I've turned the air conditioning on. It's been so hot up here. I think I'll go and have a lie in the sun, in the shade. See ya.
Just walked out your door. I just walked out your door. Yeah, I just walked out your door.
We went to Old Mornington Station, and when we got there, we were the only people there that didn't have a puncture that day. There's about 10 vehicles that all went in a day, and they had at least 1 or 2 punctures each. All of them was from the slate. Now what happens, sometimes when they grade the road, you think this is great. You go a bit faster, but what happens is bits of slate underneath the sand, and it breaks when they grade it. And the broken bits stick up like that. And they go, "Come here, little tyre, I'm gonna slash you to bits." And they come into your sidewalk and they just slash the tyre right open. You see a lot of the local people up here, they run 10 ply or 12 ply tyres. I've got 10 plies, and even though I've got cuts in them, they never actually pierced. So, you know, touch wood, I haven't had a puncture with them yet. I've got a biscuit now.
Can I have a little bit?
Camping fees are a small price to pay when you get this type of rugged, spectacular scenery. Remember, the station owners don't have to invite you into their property at all. Diamond Gorge is approximately 27 kilometres from Mornington Stock Camp, but you will need to allow around 1.5 hours travelling time. Canoe hire is available, but it is best to book in the previous day.
Welcome to another episode of the Outback Cooking Show. Now today we're going to make some sort of chapati for the kids. We all had damper in the bush, but that's too hard, it takes too long. This is easier. What we do is you get a normal saucepan, you get a cup of flour, just plain flour, cup of bread mix you get from the local supermarket, and you put in your yeast, touch of baking powder. I spent years training to be a chef, you know. I think it was all wasted. And then large cup of sultanas. Pretty much normal for a damper. So you mix it up dry and you add your water. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this on just a barbecue plate that's supplied at the National Park. So you've got to get this all up into a nice bundle. Maybe just a touch more water. Ooh, yeah, I've got it. That's it. Now the kids love this because of the sultanas. It gets their bowels moving, which is what you want. Sort of. Nothing worse than having a sick kid when you're out miles away from nowhere. Oh look, I've stuck on the handle. Oh look, isn't that professional? Another sticky situation. Then you get your flour that you've got down here. Yeah. Flour cup. You knead this up into a nice doughy mess, or ball. We'll do this for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you're really keen. Yep, I'm back. Well, while you're making up some of the dough, you're going to make a rock man. And I'm going to go and chase the kids around for a minute, so I'll come back in a minute and I'll show you the rest of them. I'll just show you this close up. Hello, I'm Mr. Rockman, and I'm going to go and eat all the kids I can find. Oh, gee, my eye fell out. What am I going to do? Oh dear, I think I get it. Now you get your balls into nice little bits. Get yourself a nice rolling pin. And iron them out. Okay, now I'm going to go chuck that in the barbecue with a bit of butter, and we'll see how she turns out. If it doesn't turn out, I'll try again. Okay, now you put a bit of butter on your medium hot plate. Woo! And plonk your chapati on top. Yeah, so a little bit of the butter in, and then you flip it over. Oh, that's nice and fattening. I'll get that butter off. You got to check to see if it's nice and when it's nice and brown underneath, you flip her over and do the other side, and whoop, melt in my butter container. This barbecue is a little bit too hot, but the next one will cool down a bit and it'll be perfect. Oop.
You will need to allow about an hour's travel to Sir John Gorge, which is only 14 kilometres from camp. We've just come out of Mornington Station now, and we have to turn back to the Gibb River Road. We were going to go up to the Tablelands track, but at the end of the Tablelands track is a place called Bedford Downs, and we can't get through there. The station owner in Mornington had rung through, and it's all being flooded out. You just can't get through, so you got to expect on your tour that you just can't go everywhere that you want to go. So it's an adventure, and we're plugging on to the Gibb River Road, and we're going to check out a couple of gorges up there. is the last section of the track into Barnett River Gorge. You may as well walk the extra 5 minutes than take the risk of damage to your vehicle. The walks are well marked by these cairns. However, make sure you carry enough drinking water, especially if you are disabled or have small children. The walks can be 3 to 4 hours return in stifling heat. Common sense goes a long way.
You ever wonder what we feed our kids? Well, for breakfast they have cornflakes with sultanas and sugar on it, a couple of pieces of fruit. Lunchtime we have a big tin of fruit with biscuits and a can of tuna. And tonight we're having chicken with vegetables, fresh vegetables and rehydrated peas or beans. Is good?
Yep.
The King Edward River crossing is the deepest on the corrugated road on the way to Mitchell Falls. King Edward River, great camping, beautiful river. The best type of boat to add to your camping gear is an inflatable boat. It is light and easy to carry, and it allows you to get real close to the wildlife.
When looking at the maps for our show, yellow is grade 1, pink is grade 2, and red is grade 3. Most tracks will be grade 2 unless otherwise stated.
Welcome to Track Conditions. Four-wheel driving is great in that it's always an adventure. You never know where you're going to end up at the end of the day. One day it can be very challenging and the next day it can be easy going. The road conditions can change dramatically, which is why we want to give you an idea of what the track can really be like. So come along with us on our way to the Mitchell Falls. where our poor Landy has to tackle the rough corrugations, and we take the helicopter ride of a lifetime.
Got a little time to spend, some time to spend alone. Told him not to visit me, I disconnect the phone. I wait here for me and you. Postcards from the radio and letters with a smile. Secret little messages.
Do not attempt to adjust your television set. This is not a reflection.
And you. And think of the chances that I'm gonna get in it. All just seems out of place. And I've said some things that I later regret, but I always have a smile on my heart.
If you don't like corrugation, don't come up here. Now this is a coil-sprung vehicle, so it handles it quite well. But got an old leaf-sprung vehicle, you're in for a rough ride. Now this goes under about 40 k's. Falls. It's quite a nice little campsite here. It's about 25 cars, but you can hear someone with a generator. In my opinion, I hate this. You come out here for a nice quiet camp, there's 25 or so cars here, all quiet except for one. And what do you hear all night? There's a generator running all night. So come out here, leave your generator at home. You don't need it. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Get those people with the generators and have a nice quiet camping.
Could you be anything but what you are? Could you say anything that you weren't supposed to? Lie your pretty face on the bed that we made and forgive the fact that I lied about my age.
Bookings need to be made, usually the day before, for the helicopter flights into Mitchell Falls. It is well worth getting these helicopters